Welcome to day 3 of the journey, this transformative personal journey through the season of Lent. I wanted to bring you into my kitchen table just to have a conversation with you about the topic today. A very important topic about the meaning and purpose of life, but before I do that, I just want to greet a couple of the people that I know are a part of this devotional series. There's a group down in Knoxville, Tennessee. Go Volves. Thanks, Karen. There's a small group that is using this for their weekly devotional discussion. Karen, that I got the Go Volves mug from, also helps out with music suggestions for this series. If it were up to me, we'd probably play Stairway to Heaven, day after day. So she comes up with some very good suggestion. There's also a group from Ellsworth, Wisconsin. Go Cheese. Great to have you with us along on this journey. A group from Lincoln, Nebraska. A group from a congregation in Colorado at Fort Collins, who has the most awesome pastor in the world, Lita Behrens, who used to be on staff with me and is just doing amazing work there. There's also a number of other people, plus all the wonderful people at Zion Lutheran in Redmond who are joining us on this journey. I don't want to brag too much about the people at Zion, because that'll make all kinds of other pastors jealous and will want to be here. And I have some good things that I want to be doing here at Zion. It's great to have you with us wherever you are. The question today, the reason I wanted to bring you to my kitchen table, is the first line in the devotion today. Do you ever really wonder about the deeper meaning or purpose of life? Is that something that crosses your mind, the deeper meaning and purpose of life? Maybe even a question before that is the question, can you find out, can you discover, can you live into, can you discern the deeper meaning and purpose of your life that maybe God has created for you or that God has in mind for you? So kind of the prior question to, do you think much about the meaning or purpose of life, is the prior question, do you believe that you can know the purpose for which God created you? Do you believe that you can discern that and live into it? With that, devotion today leads us into the question, do you believe that you can lead a life of significance? Now, the reason that's an important question is because if you believe that you can't know it, or that you can't discover it, or that life really is a series of days that accumulate one after the other, and you get old and you die and that's it. If you believe that you can't discover and discern the meaning and purpose of your life, then you simply won't. You simply won't. But if you do believe that you can know it, you can discover it, there are ways in which you can go on this journey of a significant relationship with Jesus, a transformative personal journey through the season of Lent. If you believe that you can know it and discern it and live into it, then the chances are much greater that you will be able to do that. And it's partially dependent on how you answer the question, do you believe that you can know or discern or discover the deeper purpose and meaning of your life, and that knowing that you can live into it with the resultant effect of a life of significance? Henry Ford once said that if you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're right. You're right. You see, dear friend, sitting at my kitchen table, this is what I tell you. The battle for knowing your meaning or purpose in life, the battle for discovering the deeper significance of your life begins in your mind. The way that you ask questions. Now, I'll repeat that again, because it's so important. That's why I'm talking to you about it on day 3. Remember, for those of you who are older than me, remember Roger Bannister? Remember that guy about 50, 60 years ago? Roger Bannister lived at a time when it was common knowledge that a human being could not run a sub 4-minute mile. It was humanly impossible. And sports writers, Roger wanted to consider running a sub 4. Sports writers at the time said it's preposterous, they wrote in sports journals. Medical experts produced journal articles that said the feat, not the feat, the way of running a sub-4 was physically impossible. Roger Bannister didn't believe those studies. He didn't let those barriers stand in the way. And in 1954, he did what the experts said couldn't be done. He broke a sub-4 minute mile by running a 3:57, which made sports history. Now, within 1 year of shattering that physically impossible barrier of 4 minutes, within 1 year, 32 other runners had broken that same barrier. And within 10 years, 335 runners had also beat that barrier. Later in his life, when he was asked, Roger, how could that have happened that you ran a sub-4? And he said, you know, it was never a physical barrier. It was a mental barrier. For hundreds of years, nobody ran a sub-4 mile, but within 10 years, hundreds of runners beat it because they were convinced that it was a breakable barrier. The battle for knowing and discerning and discovering your life's purpose begins in your mind. If you think you can't know it, ain't gonna. You never will, and you've already lost the battle. But if you change your way of thinking, and as we're going through this, change your questions, God will change your life. If you change your way of thinking and change your questions, God will change your way of life. Now, think today of what you need to start asking yourself some of these transformative questions as we go on this personal journey through Lent. Change your thinking, change your questions, and God will change your way of life. We're going to listen to a song at the end of this devotion, which is a song that you all know for those of you in Tennessee. But it's sung in such a way that it's a witness, it's a testimony to how great God is, how unbelievably how great God is. And if God is that great, and if God has a meaning and purpose for you that you can discern and discover, why not do that? Why not live into it? Enjoy the devotion, especially enjoy the song. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.